Look at verse 21 of Matthew 15. This is one of the great passages of Scripture. So Jesus is walking around, and here's this Canaanite woman. It says, leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. Look at verse 22, a Canaanite. Now, a Canaanite is a Gentile. So remember, we talked about that for all of Paul's life, he would have thought of Gentiles as being outsiders. Are you with me? A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon-possessed and suffering terribly. Look at Jesus. Jesus did not answer a word. So his disciples came to him and urged him, send her away. Do you know who this is? She's one of those people. She's an outsider. We don't even like her being around us. Can you send her away? He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Do you see where Jesus is going with this? Verse 25, the woman came and knelt before him. Look at her brokenness. Lord, help me. This is right. This is where you can start praying right here. Everybody can say this, right? She said that simple prayer. Lord, help me. He replied, it's not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Do you see that Jesus just called this woman who was asking her for help a dog? The reason was the Jewish tradition was that Gentiles were no more likely than a dog to receive God's blessings. Now we have a golden retriever. His name is Mordecai, and he is a 1%er. People say, I don't know what that means. It means that he lives his life better than 99% of the other dogs in the world. And he's one of those, he's like a member of the family. And I tell him, that's my buddy. That is not how it was in Bible times. Dogs were not pets. Dogs were considered disgusting. They were essentially garbage disposals. They were not loved. And Jesus says to this woman, it's not right for me to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. And I can just kind of see him as a test of her sincerity and her faith to say that and to turn and walk away. And here's what the woman said. Yes, it is, Lord, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. And in verse 28, I have in my mind Jesus walking away, and she said that. Boom. Here's what I know. Do you want to know how to get a hold of God? Do you want to know how to get his attention? What is a magnet for God's presence is faith. And that stopped him in his tracks, and he turned and looked at her. He says, woman, you have great what? Your request has been granted, and her daughter was healed in that moment. That's my Jesus. Come on, somebody. That's my Jesus. It was a snapshot of what was to come. When Jesus later said, on the night he was betrayed, he took bread and broke it, said, as often as you eat this, do so in remembrance of me. And he said, this is the new covenant. Come on. It is now open to the Gentiles. And even the dogs have a place at the table.